this is where I am today. Seems like I'm always in my car because I'm always traveling. But somebody told me the other day, gave me a verse about how that God is the God of the living. And so if God is the God of the living, then there must be people who are living. People when they die, they immediately go to heaven because God is the God of the living, right? It's in Matthew 22. Let's read it, okay? Matthew 22 verses 31 and 32. Have ye not read that which was spoken unto you by God, saying, I am the God of Abraham and the God of Isaac and the God of Jacob? God is not the God of the dead, but of the living. God is not the God of the dead, but of the living. So people can make the argument that, you see, Jacob, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob are has to be alive because God is the God of the living, not the dead. And Jesus Christ mentions that God is the God of Isaac and Abraham and Jacob. And so people who die like Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob has to be alive now and are in heaven, right? So people who believe in God has to be alive when they died, but they have to be in heaven, that they go immediately to heaven. But what a lot of people misquote this because they don't read the whole thing. So we have to read the whole thing. Let's read the whole thing. Now, remember, this was during the same day when the people were asking Jesus Christ what his thoughts were on giving the tribute or giving the Caesar his taxes or whatever. And on that same day, the Sadducees came to Jesus Christ to ask him a question. Matthew 22 verses 24 through 28. The same day came to him, that's Jesus Christ, the Sadducees, which say that there is no resurrection. So the whole point that the Sadducees the whole point that they were about to make is that there is no resurrection, right? Let's keep going. And asked him, saying, Master, Moses said, if a man die having no children, his brother shall marry his wife and raise up seed unto his brother. Now there were with us 7 brethren, and the first, when he had married a wife, diseased, and having no issue, left his wife unto his brother. Likewise the second also, and the third unto the 7th. And last of all, the woman died also. Therefore, in the resurrection, whose wife shall she be on the 7? For they all had her. So the question was that in the resurrection, whose wife will she be? This woman, because all those brothers had her. They were married to her, all those brothers. It's certainly a very tough question to answer. But Jesus Christ saw their hearts, and Jesus Christ saw what they were really trying to get at. Jesus then answered, Ye do err. That means you are in error, not knowing the scriptures nor the power of God. For in the resurrection they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are as the angels of God in heaven. But as touching the resurrection of the dead, now Jesus Christ is talking about the resurrection of the dead now. Jesus Christ is talking about the resurrection because really that's the whole core of the question that the Pharisees or the Sadducees were trying to make. The Sadducees did not believe in the resurrection, and that was the whole core of the question. It wasn't about the marriage or who's married to who or blah blah blah. It was really about the resurrection. Jesus says, But as touching the resurrection of the dead, have ye not read that which was spoken unto you by God, saying, I am the God of Abraham and the God of Isaac and the God of Jacob? God is not the God of the dead, but of the living. See, the Sadducees were asking Jesus Christ about the resurrection now. Again, the Sadducees did not believe in the resurrection. And so God or Jesus Christ here was trying to correct them, saying that there has to be a resurrection, because if there is no resurrection, then how can God be the God of the living? God is not the God of the dead, he's the God of the living, so there must be a resurrection for him to be the God of the living. It's about the resurrection. It's about the resurrection. It's not about Jesus Christ was not saying that when you die, you immediately go to heaven. Jesus Christ was trying to correct the Sadducees in the matter of the resurrection, saying that how can God be the God of the living if there is no resurrection? If there is no resurrection, Abraham would not resurrect, Isaac would not resurrect, and Jacob would not resurrect. And if they do not resurrect, then God could not be the God of the living. God is in fact the God of the living, not the God of the dead. So there must be a resurrection. That is what Jesus Christ was trying to say. That is what Jesus Christ was trying to say.